Thanks for joining me for another episode of White Woman in Distress. This podcast is about raising awareness for missing children, teens, and adults. My goal is to help spread the word and find those who are missing. We need to come together as a community to find these people. We need to stop ignoring what we see and start looking out for each other. I understand that you want to stay safe, but it's important to speak up when you notice something's wrong. If you had a loved one that was missing, you would want people to help. So people who think this can never happen to me need to understand it can happen to anyone. Every day, children, mothers, fathers, brothers, and sisters go missing. You don't have to put yourself at risk. You can always call tips in anonymously. Our goal should be to bring everyone home safely. Everyone deserves to know what happened, and families deserve closure. Viewer discretion is advised. This content may discuss violence, sexual assault, and murder, which may be distressing. Listener discretion is advised. So, on this episode of White Woman in Distress, we're going to be diving into a case from this year that's downright infuriating and reeks of negligence. The police didn't do their jobs, plain and simple. We're going to talk about Marissa Carmichael. She's from High Point, North Carolina, and went missing in Greensboro on January 14th in 2024. Marissa went out with a friend to a bar called 117 Sofa Bar and Lounge. Afterwards, she attended an after party at an Airbnb. Eventually, someone dropped her off at the Exxon gas station on the 800 block of East Market Street in Greensboro, where she called the police. This same person supposedly dropped her off after allegedly robbing her. Marissa's 911 call at 3:40 a.m. stated that she had been robbed, but police weren't dispatched until 4:19 a.m. They finally arrived at 4:21 a.m., only to find out that she had already left with another customer. Marissa's mother is deeply concerned, fearing her daughter may have been a victim of sex trafficking. Marissa is 5'4", 260 pounds, mixed race, with long, black and blonde braids. She has a heart tattoo on her face and a butterfly near her eye. She was last seen wearing a white Tweety Bird t-shirt, blue jeans, and yellow sneakers. After reviewing the information and listening to the 911 call, several burning questions came to my mind. Did they track her phone? Did they check the surveillance tapes at all the establishments? Did they contact Airbnb and interview her friends and others that were at both parties? What items did she have on her? Were pawn shops notified? The silence from the Greensboro Police Department on these questions is deafening and unacceptable. If you know anything or saw anything, please call Crime Stoppers at 336-373-1000. On February 13th, police reviewed gas station footage showing Marissa getting into her car with a man, whom they have since identified and interviewed as a witness. Marissa's mother was initially told that she had to wait 48 hours before her daughter could be considered missing. Let me make this crystal clear. This is absolute nonsense and a gross misinterpretation of missing persons protocol. There is no law, no regulation that says you have to wait to report a person missing, especially someone who is clearly in danger. Telling a worried parent to wait 48 hours is not only outdated, but it is also dangerous. In missing persons cases, especially when there is a potential threat to their safety, time is of the essence. Immediate action is crucial. By delaying the report, valuable time that could have been spent used to search for Marissa was wasted. The police are supposed to serve and protect, not dismiss and delay. Marissa called for help. She reported being robbed and didn't know where she was. This should have been treated as an emergency from the start. The fact that it wasn't is a failure on the part of the authorities. The officers responded to the dispatch with a 1022, meaning to disregard the last assignment. They could have saved her. If you ever find yourself in a situation where someone is missing and you're told to wait, do not accept it. Insist on filing the report immediately. And remind them that every moment counts in these situations. Demand action and hold the authorities accountable for doing their jobs. The information that I'm about to discuss was given to me by Marissa's mother. Marissa was being stalked by a man named Sean, who followed her from the club to the Airbnb and then ended up picking her up at the Exxon. She had left the club with a man named Jersey, who took her to the Airbnb. and then dropped her off at the Exxon after robbing her. Sean had been calling her work and going by there trying to get into contact with her, even though she didn't know who he was. Sean is a person of interest due to his ties with Jersey. Police suspect Marissa may have been drugged at the club. She used Sean's phone to make multiple calls, but he claimed that she was only in his car for 30 minutes, which doesn't add up. To me, it really doesn't add up. Marissa's so-called friend also had contact with these men. This friend encouraged Marissa to go to the club, then abandoned her. And here's my favorite part, everybody. She got an Uber and went back to the Carmichael's residence because she lived there, and she went to bed without mentioning anything about Marissa. She didn't mention Marissa might be in trouble. She didn't mention anything. She just went home and went to bed. And her response to why it happened that way is because she was drunk. And her friend even moved out the same day and has given inconsistent stories since then. This friend told Marissa's mother to leave her name out of it because she doesn't want to be in danger. Are you kidding me? Your friend who opened up her home to you is gone, and you don't want to be a part of it? It's too late for that. It's way too late. Regardless of the situation, just tell the truth. If you don't want to be in danger, call it in anonymously. Wake up. Are you for real? Marissa's family loves and misses her dearly. Her mother, sisters, and children want her to know that they love her and will continue to look for her. This case was mishandled from the start. Marissa called for help, but was ignored because of some absurd rating system. If the police had arrived sooner, she might not have gotten into that car with somebody else. Cases like Marissa's, which get mislabeled or mishandled, need more awareness. Marissa is a mother of 5, and her family adores her. If you're listening, Marissa, know that your family loves you very much, and many people are looking for you. I have contacted the Greensboro Police Department for more information, and while they may not answer all of my questions, that won't stop me from continuing to share your story. If the investigation's integrity is at risk, I will refrain from sharing certain details, but I will always keep raising awareness. My thoughts about this case is it's fishy from the start, but from the jump, this case was not handled correctly. And just knowing that is very irritating because she called for help. She did the one thing they always tell us to do. If you need help, call 911. She needed help, called 911, and got put on the back burner because she wasn't rated because her situation wasn't rated a 1 or a 2. It was a 3. Now, how they got to this assumption, which there was robbery, because she mentioned robbery. She mentioned how the guy took everything she had. And then she waited 40 minutes between the time that she called and the time that they were dispatched. And then it took them 2 minutes. The police station, if you look it up on Google Maps, is 2 to 4 minutes away from this Exxon, depending on the lights. So the fact that I understand that cops are always busy, I get it. But this definitely shouldn't have been a level 3. Like, this should have been bumped up to a 1, considering someone got robbed and they were lost and didn't know where they were. If you don't know where you are, that's kind of more of a big red flag to me than anything else. So I'm not sure what Greensboro Police Department has to say about any of this. I have waited half a day for them to call me back, and I can always call the information hotline, but considering that the mother told me all of this information, I am telling you. So we can share the details, and we can get it out there, and we can find her. And I will be posting pictures. So the pictures that I've posted with this podcast are going to be of her, and she's going to be with her mom, her sister, her kids. It's just going to involve everybody. You'll need to really keep an eye out for her because her family really does miss her. What I'm going to put at the end here is of the 2 individuals that are involved so far in this case, and the photos were given to me by her mother, just like her mother approved the photos that I could put up of her. Everybody wants answers. The family needs closure. Regardless of whatever happened, just tell the truth and get it over with. Please. The family deserves this. And the truth deserves to come out. Thanks for joining me today. Please, if you see something, say something, do something. We really can help the community.